If you truly believe in yourself, then other people will just start to believe in you.
You know, I went to college for a little bit. I didn't finish. But, you know, I worked in a lot of different corporate jobs.
We can tell. We can tell.
You see?
No,
I ain't finished neither.
Right, believe in myself. Internal.
I ain't finished
Internal.
No matter what other people say.
Right. No matter what other people say.
Yes.
Bro, you don't remember. Stop it, bro. Stop, bro. Stop. Don't try to relate to her. Stop, bro. It's two different levels. Your 12 credits is not the master's degree. So don't say you know what she's talking about, okay?
I got more than 12,
okay.
bro.
Go on.
That purpose, that anchoring yourself on
Yes.
that one thing, because anything can change. But what shouldn't change is what you value and what you can deliver. So,
Welcome back to the Millionaire Essentials Podcast, where we give you guys all the essentials it takes to become a millionaire. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon Pravada.
Yes, sir. You know it's Tevin Facey. What's going on, guys? And we have the famous from the Philippines, Min Rosales. How you doing, man?
good. Thank you for having me here. I'm so excited to talk to you both.
Appreciate you for coming out here.
Of course. It's a great day out. It's a happy Sunday. It's
Yes.
just like the sun is shining and it's a bit warmer today versus yesterday.
Yeah. Today, it's beautiful outside today.
Well, you know that East Coast weather. It could be hot one day and cold
Yes.
the next day.
You know how we do. NY, you know we here. NY, Tri-State. What's going on, y'all?
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. I see you all nice and comfy here.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yes.
like
Very.
nice and comfy.
Nice and comfy. She
So-
came in here Indian style.
Yes, yeah. I'm like,
Indian
I just
style.
wanna-
Indian style on them.
So, Miss Rosales, you currently reside over here on the East Coast, right?
Yes, I do.
So, what are you doing out here on the East Coast in New York, and where do you come from?
Oh, okay. So I come from the Philippines. I was born and raised in the Philippines.
Okay.
Came out here in New York.
Shout out to the Philippines.
2 years ago, and I was just really trying to find my place in the world. My background has always been in the corporate world, but you know things happened during the pandemic, and I realized that my true purpose is helping people out. And you know, coming from a family who's in middle class and not very well versed on business side, I thought that I could be the first one in the family who actually make it in the global scene in a bigger scale and helping more people make profits. So I really want to be that person. And here in New York City, I'm establishing a business called Generation First. And it's really helping first-time entrepreneurs get their feet wet, get their business education, and just be confident in who they are, build their purpose, turn their passion into profits. That's what I do.
The first millionaire, but not the last.
Not the last.
last, not
Exactly.
the
That's
last.
what I plan to do.
Generations first, right? So you're the person in your generation in a sense that's actually working towards being something more than the average worker, right?
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about, or talk to the audience as well, a little bit about what Generation First means to you, right? Not what you're doing currently, but what it means to you first.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Well, to me, these first generation or Generation First are those people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the course of their family. They can change
Right.
the world. They have this unique passion, this unique purpose, and they want to bring that out to the world. And I know that there are a lot of people out there who feels that there is something unique in themselves, but just don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And Generation First for me is that catalyst for them. So I really want this community to be like the place where they feel more of themselves, where they can bring out the full version of themselves. Yeah.
So let me ask you, right? Because you come from the Philippines.
Yes.
So within, I would say, in the last 5 to 10 years, from what I've seen when I came into entrepreneurship, even us, we have people on our team that's in the Philippines. There's been a wave of American entrepreneurs who hire people in the Philippines to work for them.
Yeah.
But what I don't see is something special that you're doing is actually, because the Philippines people that we hire, they work extremely hard. Everybody that I know that hire people from the Philippines work extremely hard.
Shout out to our team.
Shout out to our team.
Yes.
So why isn't there more people from where you come from coming over here or getting the opportunity to come over here and start their business? Because I see the hard work and I see a lot of them have the entrepreneurial mindset, but they just don't make that extra leap. So why aren't there more people coming over here, and what stops them?
Well, it's really a generational thing that we were colonized as a community, like a culture, and we were always thinking that, this is what we could do. Like, this is the only thing that we could do, and that's working for others, right? So, and for me, I realized that, we put a ceiling to our dreams, mainly because like we were just wired that way. And we're not seeing enough people who are making that leap. You're just really surrounded by people who are doing, who are doing 9 to 5, because we were just wired that way. Like society has wired us that way. And when we actually see one person who is making that leap, then that kind of jolts us to thinking that it is possible. So I think it's really about having more people who makes that leap, and just leaning into like what are the success stories out there, what are the ways to go about it, because right now it's not easily accessible for these people, and I know that for a fact, because like some of my family members are still living in that situation wherein it's difficult on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
And that's why I told myself, like, you know what, if there's anyone who can inspire them, that I want to be that person. And it takes just one person in the family to kind of like change the course of where, they could head, and just giving that spark of inspiration. If she could do it, then maybe I could also do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's amazing, because, especially like I said, shout out to our team. They're from the Philippines. We've used a lot of people from the Philippines, and you guys just have a different work ethic, right?
Oh,
because,
yeah, for sure.
It's harder out there, right? So sometimes they'll stay overnight, right? Because it coincides with our hours, or during the day it's overnight for them. Were you, did you work in that assistance era, or that virtual assistance, or anything like that, or?
Oh, my story is a little different.
Right. So what's your story?
Yeah, let us know.
So as I mentioned, I was born and raised in the Philippines. My dad is an aircraft mechanic.
Oh, wow.
My mom is a housewife. They both lived through like difficult life as well. Their family are also coming from like maybe not the richest people in the world. Right. And I was an unplanned child. I came after my sister, 7 years after my sister, and that kind of nudged my dad to say that, okay, I'm gonna work abroad as an overseas Filipino worker, to make sure that I am able to provide for this kid and for my family. And all throughout my life, like he has worked in Africa as an aircraft mechanic, so that I could have the education. I could finish a bachelor's degree, and I was the first one also in the family who was able to do that. And because of that, like he sacrificed his life, not
Shout out to Pops, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pops.
He sacrificed his entire life, just living in Africa where there's like war, and like it's difficult also there for us to earn money, and for me to graduate college. And even during my graduation, like he wasn't able to go because he was just stuck in Africa working for us. So I said, you know what, I'm going to make sure that I use this degree, I use my education to make an impact to my family and also to others. And right after that, I did the corporate thing, like 9 to 5.
Right.
Joined the world's largest food and beverage company. Worked there for 11 years doing marketing, and it's a very different situation versus a lot of my family members and also a lot of people in the Philippines, because being in corporate or being in that company already puts me in the top 25, top 1% of the population. Like 75% of Filipinos are living still in low income. And so, and I was there for 11.
5%.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I was there 11 years, and the brands I handled, I was doing marketing there. The brands I handled were catering to those who are, living in difficulty. A cup of coffee for them is like, this thing that makes them, that brings them that energy to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are like the kind of conversations I would have like with my consumers and the brands that I handle. And come pandemic, that was a pivotal moment for me. Like I thought I was gonna do like marketing for that company for the rest of my life, but come the pandemic, I was just stuck in that situation wherein I'm living this cushy life. Like I was living in a premier condo when I go out, there's like people who are losing jobs, and my consumers, the brands, or my consumers were not living the life that I have, and that kind of gave me that weird feeling that this is a disconnect. Like why am I lucky, and whereas on their end, like they're still in that situation. That's when
they're stuck. They're stuck in
Yeah.
that situation.
that's when I leaned into it and tried to understand like what it is that I want to do, and I realized that I'm really good at turning around businesses. Okay. I realized like I am really great at brand building.
Yeah.
And I one thing, if there's one skill that I really took out from my 11 years in that company, is that how do you anchor yourself in purpose so that people value you or your brand. And when I thought about it, like I thought, okay, if I can turn around businesses by anchoring them on the purpose, can I do that with people? Can I turn around people's lives by making sure that they understand like what they value and what they're passionate about, so that people see and see the value in them and create value for them. So that's when I started the whole journey on Generation First. And really tried to understand like, okay, how do we turn your passion into profits? Because like business is like that, right? Like you don't pay for something you see valuable. You don't pay for something that you don't see the purpose of.
Yes.
And that's also the same with people. Like if you are not living your true self, if you're not living out your purpose, then people don't see the value in you. And that's what I want to impart to them. Like how do you bring out your purpose and your truest self so that you can make a living out of the thing that you actually are already good at.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah, that's a long story, but basically.
No, that's incredible. And what I noticed about what you just broke down, that what me and Tevin preach, working in corporate and working a 9-to-5 job gives you all the tools and can prepare you to be a great entrepreneur, a great business owner.
Yep.
If you pay attention about how the company works, how marketing works, how they tap into people. And it seems that you got that down to a T. You paid attention. You took all the tools that you learned by working there, and you found your passion and purpose, and now you're turning it into something great. So that's incredible. So Generation First.
Yep.
You come over here. You come to America. You started that while you were over there, or you came over here and started
Here. I was doing my whole soul searching here, and that's how I landed on it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. So you come over here. You start Generation First. Now, it's hard for a lot of Americans to, start businesses and build it up. So once you came over here, take us through the process of starting the business and taking it from where you started it to where you're at now. What is that process like? How did you do it?
Okay. Well, the first thing is I had to understand like what kind of value I'm providing.
Right,
Like
yes.
what is the purpose of all of this? Like I started first with like what is the purpose of this business? And then from there, I kind of like talk to people like, hey, I'm actually doing this thing. Like, I'm really great at marketing. I'm great at like business.
You got that skill set.
Yeah, I have the skill set of like building a business, understand a business foundation, but like, how do I like help people out? And one thing that really led me to establish okay, there's a market for this, is when I talked to my brother and my sister. It's a very immediate family who are very talented in their craft. Like, for example, my brother is really good at leather making, and my sister is really good at cooking. They keep on asking me, like, hey, how do you start a business? Like, how do you make something out of this thing? And then I started coaching them, and then that kind of led me to see, like, okay, yeah, I could actually coach them, because I also tried going the route of like talking to existing business owners.
Right.
But I realized that, they're very early stage, so they don't have the money to actually
Right.
get the service.
Right. Correct.
But what they need is education. So from there, I understood, like, okay, the product is coaching, and the market is those people who are seeking out the roadmap. So, and then from there, I just really leaned into people who are already doing it, like the coaching programs, try to understand what kind of systems I need to have in place, what is the rhythm of it. And from there, it's just like really building the team.
Yes.
And yeah, it's been really good. Like, I have people also from the Philippines who's working for the company. So it's still like a work in progress, to be honest. We still learn every single day. But what is very important to have as a business is just to have that purpose, that anchoring yourself on that one thing, because anything can change. But what shouldn't change is what you value and what you could deliver. So, and
You said some amazing things just now. No, because like, and this is something that me and Brandon always talk about, right? Have a plan, right? In anything that you're doing. And with what you were just stating, you were kind of like breaking down exactly how you even started, right? Because you didn't just go into saying, hey, let me just go out there, generation first.
Yeah.
What's going on? I'm doing something, right? You actually, step back. You looked at who your target market was, right? And who you actually need to start coaching. What is your purpose behind doing it?
Yep.
And what you're actually good at, right? So I think, especially in the social media area, a lot of people, they just jump out there. They see other people doing things. They buy into their mentorship. Now they're selling digital products on things they probably don't even know. So I like that you really just broke that down, that you really actually just, took heed to what you're actually doing and just focused on it. And, just created your plan and moved on from there. So with that being said, right, how, like as far as your customers now, like how are you helping them, especially now with you being in America, right? You're no longer in the Philippines, you're in America. So you're seeing things, and you've been here for what, 2 years now?
2 years, yeah.
Okay, so you're seeing things differently.
Yeah.
Right? Because especially in New York, right? You didn't go to a slow state. You came to one of the fastest.
Mecca.
Right.
The Mecca.
You can make it. You can make it anywhere. That's what they say,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. So
You're
came
gonna jump anyway, so might as well jump.
exactly
fully.
jump fully into it, 2 feet in, not one, right? But you're seeing things move at a faster pace.
Yeah.
So how is it now with customers, right? Because you're no longer talking to your brother and sister. You're talking to business owners or entrepreneurs that are saying, like, I want to, put my generation first. How is it now? Like, how are the customers now that you're dealing with?
Well, it's for the customers that we have, it still goes back to that same conversation I would
Right.
have to my brother and
Yeah.
sister. So it's just that now that we have a framework that we could just like, okay, this is what you need. What I realize is just
Framework, write that down.
framework.
Framework.
Yeah, there's a framework that you can follow so that you can easily build out your business. And that's one thing that I realized building out my own business is that we're always so overwhelmed with the process.
Right.
And that usually deters us from actually just doing the right things, right? Like there are only a few things that you have to do to build out a business, and it's just like the 4 P's I have, which is purpose, people, product, and presence. So if you are able to just follow those 4 P's, in which we give our customers,
Right.
then they will be more focused and they will have more time and energy to actually do those steps rather than scrambling around thinking like, hey, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I register the business now? And yeah, it's just the framework works, and it's just a matter of following it, and that's what I learned from having those conversations with my brother and my sister and the people I stumbled upon.
So I like that. And you did something that a lot of people don't do. You actually went out there and used your brother and sister as the test product, the test subject, and actually framed what the purpose, people, product, and process, right?
Yeah.
You created the framework using them. A lot of people just create businesses and go out there and test and charge people, and that'll be their testing. But you actually did the work of putting it out there to the field and seeing if it works, and use your family, which is a lot of times even harder.
Yeah.
So if it's going to work there, now that you know you have something that's sustainable, is going to work, that you actually help people, now you could transfer it to the public.
Yeah.
So with that, what purpose, people, product, and process, right?
Presence is the last one.
Pressing?
Presence.
Presence. Oh,
Yeah.
presence. Okay,
Presence.
okay, presence. Yes, so with that framework, what is your goals with the company itself as far as yearly and in the next 5 years?
Okay, so I go with the vision. The big vision is create 1 million first-generation entrepreneurs.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Nice,
That's a lot.
nice.
But
I like that.
you in the big tri-state.
No,
I like
because
that.
I know that it's possible.
Yes.
Possible, right? Like with the online world right now, people just get information from online, but they need to be directed to the right information. So I want to make sure that my goal for this year is to establish Generation First as that go-to community when you're planning to start a business and thinking about using your passion and turn that into a living. So that's my goal for this year. Of course, there's always that monetary goals, but for me, the monetary goals will definitely be coming from the number of people that we help, because businesses is really about impact and value. If we are not providing value, then we don't get the money. So 1 million is my target. Whether that's going to be this year or 5 years, it's possible. I just want to help out as many as I can.
Got you. That's nice. And the fact that you even have that goal, right? It's definitely something that's important, because your success is a testament to what you actually want to do later on down in your business. Exactly. So another question I do have, though, right? Because you're saying that you're now using Philippine VAs, right, to help you inside of your business. So what exactly, like, obviously you come from the Philippines. So what exactly or how are they helping you, right, create those 1 million Generation First millionaires inside of your business?
Okay. So right now there are people who are helping me connect with really talented people in the Philippines as well. There are also, and what I realized, like, even with this business, I'm helping out first-time entrepreneurs and even providing businesses in the Philippines. Jobs in the Philippines. So it's like that.
Got you. So you're helping provide the VAs as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they always have access to the coaching programs. And what I want to establish also for this year is a scholarship fund that could potentially be used in the Philippines. But for sure, they've been helping out. Shout out to Danica, to Solomon, who's working.
Shout out to the team.
Shout out to the team who's been very, very helpful with, connecting me to the right people and helping me out with the operation stuff, because that's the one that's really difficult when you're building a business. Like you want to be focused on the big things, whereas because they are very, already well versed in the operations. Then they help us out in that sense. So it makes it easier for me. But I want to give back to them also and provide jobs and opportunity to also build out their businesses.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, right? You mentioned your father worked really hard. Your mother was a stay-at-home mom.
That's crazy. I was just about to. What you saying alludes? I was about to ask that next.
I got to know, right? Because this is something that a lot of us entrepreneurs we battle back and forth with, and we need a lot of help on this side, family. Because I know, especially in the Philippines, you guys are real family oriented.
Yes.
Heavy family oriented. So by you being a businesswoman and building your empire and helping a whole bunch of generation first millionaires, is there pressure on you in building a family for yourself and doing that at the same time?
Oh, we go personal.
I mean, I got to ask that because a lot of entrepreneurs, they can, maybe even if they're good in business, that side they always struggle with, and it's hard to balance if you can balance it.
Yeah. You know, I realized when I built out this business, I became closer to my family.
Okay.
That's good.
Because in my head, I'm building this business also for them.
My family.
For my family.
Because you're the first generation.
Yes. And when I was talking about it with them, they believed in me. And so it's really they are the fuel to this.
They're the fuel to your fire right now.
Yes, yeah. They are the fuel to
That's amazing.
This.
So you have the support.
I have the support of my family. They're rooting for me, and I think that I'm really blessed to have people who are believing in you, because I've met a lot of entrepreneurs as well who said, like, you know what, I have this crazy dream, but my family does not believe in me. And like, who do I talk to? And that's really a big pain point, because like, if the closest people in your circle are not believing in you, like, how do you believe in yourself?
Exactly.
Right? But for me, there's always that centering with who you are, what your passion is. If you truly believe in yourself, then other people will just start to believe in you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So shout out to the family.
Shout
First
out
and
to the
foremost,
family.
shout out to mom, shout out to dad, shout out to your brother and sister, right? So, and it's funny that you say that, because I was watching this comedy special. You know Joe Coy?
Oh yeah.
Joe Coy. I love all his comedy specials. Shout out to Joe Coy.
I love him.
And he says, like Philippine parents, they're like, you either got to be a nurse, a doctor,
Yes.
or in some type of trade field, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's really funny, because I think it's perfect to what you're alluding to with being an entrepreneur, because they're like, they support me.
Yep.
Like, they're not like, no, you got a bachelor's, you have to go to school. Like, you have to get that 9-to-5 job and keep continuing on doing so, and stay corporate, right? So what I wanted to ask was that, you with your father being in Africa, right? Being the airplane mechanic, right?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of I guess, what's the word I'm trying to use? What kind of traits did he instill in you with him being so far away? And it's like he's working so hard to make sure that everybody's good. Like, how do you feel that kind of helps shape you to be something more later on down in life, opposed to that at that 9-to-5 when you were corporate?
Yeah. I think it's being...
Because it's like being an entrepreneur. Like,
yeah,
at that point, he moved from where he was at to a whole nother country to make sure that you guys were living comfortably.
I think it's all about sacrifices. That if you have this goal and you have this dream of making sure that your family thrives, then you would do everything you can to do that. Like, move countries and even continents for us. And I think right now that's also what I'm going through. Like, I'm sacrificing.
You did, and that's the reason why I asked, because you basically did the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? You're no longer in the Philippines.
Yes.
You moved all the way to America.
Yeah.
New York at that, so that you can provide something more for your family the same way your dad did.
Yes.
And that's the reason why I asked.
Yes. No, you're in my head. Like, I really do feel that me, uprooting myself from the Philippines to here is a big sacrifice, because I was already living a comfortable
comfortable life there. You
life
say you
there.
had the condo. You probably went out whenever you wanted to.
I had
You buyed whatever you like.
The
You
best
literally
20s.
had the life.
the best 20s of my life. And for me, I think that's not enough to, I guess, like, in terms of life, like, I feel like I'm not living.
Wasn't enough.
Yeah, I'm not living my true
amazing.
self, my full self.
Perfect.
And I feel that there's this big opportunity I can maximize, wherein I have that experience already, but making myself uncomfortable by going through this entrepreneurship means that it is it gives people hope that you can actually build out
Right.
something.
You can do this. You can do this yourself.
Yeah. So it for me, that sacrifice is really, I can feel that sacrifice because like my friends are there, cushy job. But everything, like building a business is really about sacrifice at the first, but for the better. And
Right. Later on
others.
down the line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So generation first. One thing I think that comes first and foremost when we talk about entrepreneurs, first-time millionaires, is mindset.
Yes.
So mindset is heavy to really take that leap to be a first-generation millionaire. How is Generation First helping with the mindset of getting these first-time business owners, first-time entrepreneurs into that mindset of, you have to think this way, you have to change this mindset to get to your destination?
Yeah.
Good segue right there.
Ooh.
That was a good one right there.
Yes. So whenever I have a conversation with clients or students, first thing or even family, the question is, what's your current state and what's your ideal state, and how do you attack the gaps? And oftentimes it is really mindset that they don't believe that they can do it. They don't believe that they have it in them. They don't believe that, money is going to come to them. And one thing that is very critical when you're going through that shift is to acknowledge that you have self-limiting beliefs, that it's not externality that's holding you back, it's actually yourself. And once people understand actually that, it's them holding themselves back, then they become more, I would say that more accountable in changing that. Like they're not victimized anymore by, whatever is external that's happening to them. It's actually up to them, and we help them realize that. But having that coaching, giving them opportunities to talk to those people who made that leap as well. We have that board of advisor program wherein, these are people who started with nothing and now they're doing 7 to 8 figure. And it's really, as I mentioned a while ago, it's really exposing them to people who have already made it so that they too can get the mindset that these people went through. So
that's amazing. Yeah. So like you said, the ideal state and the current state, and just bridging that gap in between, right? Obviously, I think like you breaking the way you break things down, I can see it. I can see how you get it from your from your college degree, right?
Corporate
college.
Corporate is like no,
you gotta make sure
Yes.
it's. I can tell because I went to college for a little bit. I didn't finish, but I worked in a lot of different corporate jobs.
We can tell. We can tell.
You see.
No,
I ain't finished neither.
Right, believe in myself. Internal.
I ain't finished
internal.
No matter what other people say.
Right. No matter what other people say.
Yes.
But being at those corporate jobs, bridging those gaps, ideal state, current state, I think that's definitely important for you to know. It's definitely ideal for people to understand that they need to internally look at themselves and figure out what they need to do next.
Yeah.
Right. So now that we're at that point of, you're talking about you have a board of advisors, right?
Yeah.
So how does that look now, as your company is growing? You have a board of advisors. Like most companies, they don't get to that point, right? Because 82% of small businesses, they fail within their first 3 years. So like how do we get to that point of you coming from the Philippines, right? You've been here for almost 2 years now. You're in the Mecca. You're getting clients. Now you have board of advisors. So like, how did you get to that point, and what prompted you to get to that point of having a board of advisors? Because when you ultimately get to that point, that means that you're growing substantially, that you need more people to help.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is that the board of advisor, to me, is not an end thing, but a requirement to success.
Right.
It's not that I already made it because I already have a board of advisor, but it's really because I'm surrounding myself with this group of people that I am able to elevate the company and reach out to more people. And that board of advisor program is not just for me, but also for the clients or the customers that we have. That because I understand when you're starting out a business, everything is just you, right? Like you're banking on yourself. And one of the key issues realized a lot of first time entrepreneurs go through is that they don't know who to talk to when they start up a business, and there's so many facets in a business that you have to understand. You have to understand operations. You have to understand marketing, leadership. Like, how do you handle your sales system and all that? And that gets overwhelming.
Yes, it does.
And so this board of advisor program is not to say that, hey, this is this is what you need to do. It's really more of a resource for these first-time entrepreneurs to get access to how are they doing things. Lean into those success stories of the board of advisors so that they can actually thrive faster rather than doing it themselves.
Gotcha.
To be honest, so where I see like you could probably help a lot of people is all of those. I'm gonna give an example. So we have a sister, right? We have a VA, right? She started out as our VA. She still is. She started her own company.
Okay.
Marketing.
Okay.
And now she set up American LLC. So she has, now a lot of people under her, and we send her clients as well. So she's growing her company.
Okay.
So people like her, what advice would you give her as far as where she's at now in scaling her company? Should she come over here? She should continue marketing over there? Because I could see a lot of people that you could probably serve and actually get to $1 million is a lot of overseas people who know everything about doing the business, but building the business.
Yep.
So what would you tell her in her process and far as moving forward and growing her business?
How big is her company at the moment?
As far as employees or
like maybe like size or
let's just say between 5 and 10
per month.
How much does she make?
Or employees.
Let's just say 5 or 10.
Okay.
I'm not totally sure. Let's just say 5 or 10.
Okay. Well, first, establishing the operations is so critical when it comes to scaling a business, because when you are a first-time entrepreneur, you just basically bank on you, as I've mentioned, and you try to do every single thing. So what I would advise her is to create policies, to create systems within the company so that when you scale, it's just you. It's effortless. Like, you are able to hand off things that you are doing, and you are able to, you maximize the manpower you have, because you are training, you are building their capability, you are giving them the step-by-step process so that you don't have to do everything. And that's when you actually get to true scale, when you are able to hand off those little things and be able to create a system out of those.
Working on the business and not in the business.
Yes, exactly.
That is key. Because I think a lot of people get that confused. Like, we're so used to that hard work mindset. We're actually doing the physical work, but that's actually slowing down, scaling the business.
Yep.
So like you said, setting up systems and processes where you're actually bringing in the customer and you're setting up a system that you can fulfill on the customer and having people work under you while you're making money to keep scaling and scaling. Go from 100,000, 200,000 to $1 million to 10 million to, above and beyond.
Yep. Yeah.
So this is the Millionaire Essentials Podcast, right? So we have to talk money.
Okay.
Yes.
We have to talk a little bit about money.
We got to talk a little bit of money.
Okay.
So for you and your business, what is your revenue goals as far as per year, and I would say the next 5 years?
So the first year I would want to get to 1 to 1 million, and then
1 or 2 million. That's two. 1 or 2 million.
Which one? 1 or 2? She's gonna go for 2.
Of course, I'm gonna go.
gotta
with
go.
You're the tri-state. You gotta
to
go
be
for
honest,
2.
in my head it's 10 because I'm always.
So you can still say 10. If
You
it's
10
10,
steps
it's 10.
ahead. You 10 steps
there
ahead.
we go. So it's 10.
Okay.
10 million. And then when we get to 5 years, then hopefully every year would be doing 50 year on year.
So being that you have this corporate background, right? Because we talk about buying businesses, selling businesses, scaling businesses.
Yep.
Is your goal? I know this is more of a passion business for you, right? So is your goals to scale and sell your business?
My goal is to establish first-time entrepreneurs, and then and then work with them, partner with them. So when they are already scaling,
Both
we can
on your
actually
business.
get equity.
Okay, got you.
Oh, that's smart. I like that.
Got
I like that. That's what,
No, yes.
She knows. She
That's
good.
how she's going to scale a business even faster.
You can
Yes.
tell she graduated. You know. Yeah. We ain't
Talk
good.
about
No,
yourself.
you
Talk
ain't
about
graduated.
yourself.
Come on,
Don't
tell
say
me.
we. Don't
You
include
ain't-
we.
You graduated?
Graduated what?
Oh, okay.
I graduated in life.
Okay, I see what's going on here.
Yeah.
But no, that's very smart because now you can bolt those businesses on, or you can just become a part of the business
Yes.
with equity, right? And then grow as you help them grow and scale. Now you're also growing and scale with them
Yes.
because you're just receiving money at that point. You've done the hard work, and I think that's what we have to start talking about now, especially in this baby boomer era, right? There's a lot of baby boomers that are selling their businesses, right? They're either retiring
Yep.
and their kids don't want to take over the business, or they just want to sell because at this point they've done more than enough, right? They've probably been in the business 40 years, 50 years, 20 years, maybe even 10, right? And they just, at this point, they just want to do something else different. And there's a lot of businesses that are for sale. And I feel like there's a lot of people just starting more and more businesses when they could buy a business that's already generating the revenue, opposed to starting a new one that you never know when your check is going to come in,
Yep.
or when you're even going to pay yourself after you pay payroll,
Yep.
right? So that's something that me and Brandon, like he said, that we're talking about heavily now, because I think it's important for us to really note that in this era that we're in, it's hard, and it's getting harder.
Yep.
Right, it's getting harder to sell a product.
Yep.
It's getting harder to sell a service. It's getting harder to consult with companies because they feel like they can just go online and get the information. They can go to YouTube University. So,
Well, I wouldn't. I just wanted to interject. I wouldn't say harder. I think people just don't know how to adjust when things change.
that
So
could
like,
be true.
if I'm doing something, and I was just doing this for the last 2-3 years,
Right.
like a lot of entrepreneurs, and it was working. I was making a lot of money. Then all of a sudden, the algorithm changes. Now I can't market organically no more. The
Right.
sales climate
Yes.
change. A lot of them don't know how to adjust and switch tactics and learn something new
But that's because
to
they
build
weren't
the business.
They weren't business owners before the COVID era. And you got to think about it. COVID,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Everybody's mad. Yeah,
COVID
you're right.
is-
COVID changed a lot.
A lot of
for
people made a
all
lot
of
of
us.
money,
Yeah.
and
a
then
lot
now you can't
Yeah.
do the same. Now,
Exactly.
the audience is looking at things different. You can't just go on and sell a product because now they see, all right, all you guys do this now.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't know that before the COVID era. They was like, oh, they were sitting at home, oh, product, and buy. Now all you guys marketing the same. All you guys have the same message. Now they're hip to what's going on. So you got to sell a little bit different.
Yes.
And it's funny because the unemployment rate actually went down. So there's more people taking jobs now because they must have realized, hey, I can't sell those products anymore.
Yeah.
So I
No
gotta,
more free government money.
Exactly.
No more checks covered everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you were here during that time, right? Like as far as during the time, right? Your 2 years, right? You were here, pandemic. You came over. So that means you came over in 23 or 22?
22.
22. Okay. Did you come towards the end of the beginning?
Mid. Yeah.
Mid?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were right in the thick of it.
Well, it's kind of rolling out. It was kind of on the tail end, though. 22
but-
was on the tail end.
I feel like 22, it was still in the thick of it. Like, I think it was towards the end of 22, right? Was it?
Well, depending where you live, probably New York, it was still a lot
New
of-
York,
It was shut down. It was locked down when you
Yeah.
came in. Oh, so
Yeah, see, that's what I'm
But
saying.
no, not lockdown. It was
Not-
still like we still had masks. Like we.
Okay.
Yeah.
still
So,
protocols.
so with that being said, right, how was it like, because when you came here, did you go straight into entrepreneurship?
No.
Or you were already working a job?
I'm also in grad school.
Okay. Oh,
Currently?
Yes. Yeah. Currently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I ain't
Yeah,
gonna
you
lie,
jack
bro.
of all trades.
well, you know what? We
Yes.
just gonna call this one
Shoot.
the graduate. This one's gonna be the episode title name, The Graduate.
so what are you in
Graduate.
grad school for?
I'm doing strategic design and management.
Oh, just
Masters.
a
Take
deck
it-
of cards
take
of
it.
degrees, just
Right.
master and everything.
Right,
Masters.
mastering everything. But wait, actually no, that
No,
changes
it's
the
a
whole
whole thing.
that changes the
didn't
whole
know that.
dynamic. So how is it now,
Yeah.
right? With you being in college still, going for your masters.
Yes.
Or I think that is a Philippine thing. I'm gonna be honest.
It is.
Yeah, I was
It
gonna
is.
say because
It is.
you guys master school for real.
Yes.
Like you
We
guys are-
value education more than anything.
Okay, so that's just in the Philippines in general. Like even when you're back home, they just value education.
Yeah. Education is a way for us to get to a different opportunity. Or it's just
Open
real-
doors.
Yeah, open
Open more
doors. Yeah.
doors. So
Which is very different here in the U.S. In the U.S., like you can actually do a lot with high school
Yeah, without
diploma.
it. Exactly.
I mean,
like,
Yeah.
She didn't want to say it.
she would say like yeah,
yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. But in the Philippines, like you can get a really good job without a college degree.
Now she's just saying that to make us feel better. That's what it is.
In the Philippines, but here, like that's why the opportunities are so vast here.
Yeah.
Yes. So with you doing your master's and running a business, how is that?
It's been interesting.
That's why she got the board of advisors.
That's why I'm asking people for help.
Right.
No, well, the master's degree is helping me become more aware of what's happening in the world. I'm becoming more in touch with problems of poverty or problems of climate change and how this is impacting businesses. So it does help me when it comes to building that, credibility and knowledge for my customers and for my clients.
Right.
And
They did teach about, like, when I was in college and I was doing project management, they taught a lot about the politics.
Bro, you don't remember. Stop it, bro. Stop, bro. Stop. Don't try to relate to her. Stop, bro. It's two different levels. Your 12 credits is not the master's degree. So don't say you know what she's talking about. Okay?
I got more than 12,
okay.
bro.
Come on.
Go ahead, man.
All these athletes only got 12 credits. He's on a football
crazy.
scholarship.
what
He
did you
didn't go to
college
class.
for?
Football. He went to college for football. He went to college for
I was
football.
college for project management.
Okay, yeah. No, that's a very useful skill.
Yes, but they all and like you said, I ain't even going.
He went to college because he was for football. That's what he
ahead.
went to
It's
college
okay.
for.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. He got me. It's all right.
That's what he went to
got
college
me.
for.
He got me.
Yeah.
No, you
What
good.
was your question though?
No, so I was just saying that they taught a lot about politics and like economic change when I was doing project management in college, and it just like it didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand why, but I guess because you have to understand.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
I guess because you have to understand the change of the world so
Yes.
that you can manage
Yes.
your projects more effectively.
Yeah.
You also have to pay attention for it to make sense. For you to understand. You have to pay attention.
He was waiting for that.
But
He was
okay.
waiting. It's him.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah.
No. Politics, economy they both have very big impact when it comes to businesses.
Right.
Because when there's like a change in policy, then there's like a change in the way you do business as well. And right now, like even with climate change, that there's a lot of things that you have to incorporate now. Think about a business. Like, are you sure it's going to be sustainable? Are you sure it's not gonna ruin the planet? And those things I am learning with my master's degree and trying to understand, like, how do I bring those knowledge in the businesses that we create with the first-time entrepreneurs, so that in the future they won't be facing this whole situation wherein like I have to like cut down on my plastic or like stuff like that. So it's really being mindful of these economic and environmental changes, and so that they are also well prepared in the future.
Right.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because over here, especially in today's society in America, there's a big stereotype, I would say, or a lot of people pushing, don't go to school if you want to be an entrepreneur or a business owner. They're not going to teach you what you need to know. So I'm glad you're saying how going to college and continuing your master's is actually helping you scale your business. Yeah. So it's what you get out of it. It's like you say, you have your passion, you have your purpose. So you're taking all the tools from your corporate world, from college, and you're putting it in one pot, and it's helping you in many different ways. Yeah. So one thing I want to ask you, break down. I know we spoke a lot about Generation First. Yep. So let's break down exactly me coming in as a first-time entrepreneur. Okay. Take me through the process of how Generation First can help me from A to Z.
Okay. So step one, we have this conversation of your goals. What is your vision? What is your purpose? Where are you at right now? And what's your ideal state? And then from there, we have weekly conversations on tackling your mindset. Like, what are the gaps? What are your excuses? What are your workarounds? And plot out, like, manage your time, manage your habits. And we create, habits that you, or not really create, but we help you understand what kind of habits you would need in order for you to even build out a business, because it's not just like, hey, I have this thing, like I'm gonna do it. It's about the consistency and discipline. So that's the first few weeks of us getting to know each other, and tackling like how do you get to your current state. After that is talking about your purpose more in depth, like who are you, what can you bring to the world, what resources do you already have right now to kind of like, manifest this whole purpose, maybe a product, maybe a service, so that we understand like, okay, this is who you are, how can we bring that out to the world. And then after that is more of understanding the people that you will be able to serve. So the week 3, week 4 is all about trying to understand like who is your community, how do you reach out to them, what kind of message you should have so that it resonates to the community you're trying to serve. Test out your purpose, test out the products that you currently have, and then from there we go to week 5, week 6, which is essentially crystallizing this purpose and the understanding from the people that we talk to, crystallizing it into offers. So when we put them together, right, like your purpose is not necessarily your product, right?
Yeah.
It needs to be tangible. It needs to be something that people can either use or either experience. Right. So in that week 5 and 6, we craft the offer, craft the product around that purpose and the understanding of people, so that we are able to actually already sell. So it's building the foundations of your offers. And then the last bit is, okay, you already have your purpose, you already have your people, you already have your product. Then it's time for presence. So the last 2 weeks, weeks 7 and 8, is already about, okay, let's create your social media presence. Let's create your online presence so that people can find you.
Like
and
branding.
We build your websites, we build your content plan. We really put together this toolkit of how you present yourself to the world, so that it's consistent and people understand what is it that you're trying to deliver. So we follow the 4 Ps, which is exactly what I mentioned a while ago, like purpose, people, product, and presence. So we follow that framework in order for you to.
That's amazing. You can tell she got her bachelor's and her master's coming on the way, because it's just a real in-depth breakdown of like the way how you go about actually looking into the person's business. So one last question I have for you, right? You're doing your master's now. Is it a scholarship? Are you paying for it?
Oh, I have a scholarship.
Oh, okay, cool. So she's like me.
You thought she didn't have a scholarship, bro?
I gotta ask a question.
Football scholarship. Let's keep establishing that, bro.
Damn.
You didn't have an intellectual scholarship.
But it goes hand in hand. Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. It's 2 different types of people.
Nah, see, that's hate.
It's 2 different types of
That's
people.
hate.
But congratulations on that.
Thank you.
We're definitely looking forward to seeing your progress. Definitely want to tap in on your program, and
For sure.
if we could be of assistance and help anybody out as far as what we do, helping them build their credit, helping them get access to capital, because that's kind of
sure.
Along the lines of what they'll probably need. Definitely we're going to tap in, because I like that you give them the foundation first. It's a lot of people out here selling, I will help you get your product, market it, and make this money and these dollars, but they don't even have the foundation to keep moving forward, the mindset and the habits.
Yes.
You said a key word, the habits to be great, to be successful. Yep. So I like that you're doing that.
They have no fulfillment too.
No fulfillment.
Like they'll
Yeah.
buy, they have
Process.
people buy.
That's the process.
The process.
They don't have the process.
People will
or
buy.
the presence.
People buy and then
It's just product and maybe people, but they don't have the process and presence.
yep.
And then they don't have the community too.
Yeah, the community and the help, the board, and that's key.
And the resources.
Yeah.
And the resources don't just mean something that you have done or in the past. It could also mean relationships, right? Your resources can be your relationships, and I
Yes.
think a lot of people oversee that.
Yes, for
They
sure.
just be like, okay, well, I don't have that in my tool belt, so that's not really a part of what everything I have.
Yep.
And that's another thing that you get from going to school and college, relationships.
Yes.
That's
For
a
sure.
key thing that
For
a lot
sure.
of people don't realize.
For sure.
Going to school can put you in touch with invaluable relationships for life that can help you in all steps and all different levels. So a lot of people miss out on that as far as going to school. That's one thing I feel I missed out on is building
school?
those relationships.
School in general, right? Like education.
Like I was saying, that's one thing I think I missed
School
out on.
and education is what he missed out
is,
on. I think.
molding
It's okay.
those
I
relationships.
like this back and forth. Or just like in the
But,
middle of it.
No, but that's great. So before we get out of here, let them know where to find you and what you have coming up next. If you have any events,
Oh, yeah.
or you want to invite them anywhere.
Yep. So happy to get in touch with everyone who is looking to start their business. If you're looking for our community, if you're looking for the toolkit, if you're looking for a roadmap, we are the space for you. We will help you build out your passion into a business and turn that into profit. You can follow me at Min Rosales at Instagram.
Min Rosales.
You gotta
Min
spell that out.
Rosales.
I know you gotta spell that out.
Min-
So we're gonna drop it down here, but you gotta spell that
Min
out.
Rosales.
Hey.
Min Rosales. You can find me on Instagram or on Facebook. You could also try my mini course. So I have a master class about starting out a business. I will give you the link so you
Yes.
can drop it
Yes.
out here. And I'm happy to have a lot of conversations with all of you.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. She's giving out free consultations.
Free.
Free consultations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Free.
Free. FREE.
Free.
Yes. So Min
Rosales.
I got it. Rosales.
Rosales.
It was amazing having you on the podcast. It was some great dialect, right? Obviously she's going for her master, so she's gonna be smarter than both me and Brandon.
Not too sure.
I saw your
ain't
face.
saying that.
I saw the look, bro.
Because
You
it's
both know-
dialogue,
no.
not dialect. It's
No.
great dialogue, not great dialect.
Did I say dialect?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I was like, do I have a dialect?
No, it's great dialogue, not dialect.
I thought I said dialogue.
That's not getting
No,
that
but
degree.
I got it. I got you. I got
Yeah,
you.
that's not getting that degree.
Let's see what's going on here.
Yes, Min. Appreciate you for coming out. This is
Oh,
the Millionaire
happy.
Essentials Podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Brandon the Provider.
Yes, sir. You know it's 7 Facey.
We give you all essentials to be a millionaire. We see y'all soon.
Yes, peace.